Good morning, children. How are you all? I hope you all are fit and fine and staying very well and safe at your homes. So, children, let us start today's mathematics class of grade 10th. This is class 10th, subject mathematics, chapter number 15, probability, lecture number 2. And children, content I am going to cover from your textbook, that is NCERT. Okay, children, as you know that in the very first lecture of probability, I made you understand all the important definitions like definition of probability, what do you mean by experiment, what do you mean by event, define random experiment, okay, explain the difference between impossible event and certain or sure event. Along with it, children, I explained you the theoretical definition of probability. So, children, let us give a quick recall of the concepts which we learnt yesterday, and after that, we are going to proceed with some situational problems from exercise 15.1. Got it? So, these are the topics which we are going to cover in today's lecture, that is lecture number 2 of probability. So children, let us start a quick recall of the concepts which were taught yesterday. What do you mean by probability? Probability means possibility of occurrence of an event. Probability is always measured by the number lying between 0 and 1. Children, I explained you yesterday that whenever the event is impossible, means which can never happen. For example, if I am going to throw a die and I want just to find out the number or the digit 7. So you will say it's not possible. Why? Because on a die, the number starts from 1 and goes up to 6. Correct? So that will be known as impossible event. The probability of impossible event is 0 always. But if I am talking about the sure event, like if I ask you that you throw a die and you have to take out the numbers from 1 to 6. Either of these 6 numbers you have to take out. So definitely either of the 6 numbers will definitely occur. So in that case, the probability will be 1. Otherwise, the probability can never ever be negative. Okay. It will always lies between 0 and 1, and it can be equal to 0 as well as 1 for the case of impossible event as well as for the case of sure event. Let us recall the definition of experiment once again. An operation which produces some well-defined outcomes is called an experiment. Fine. Means whenever you are going to perform any experiment, so definitely there will be some results of that experiment. If you are going to toss a coin, so you will be getting either head or tail. Whenever you are going to throw a die, you will be getting the digit 1 to 6. Got it, children? So whenever there are some fixed, defined, well-defined outcomes, the results, then in that case we can say that experiment is going to be happen. Okay? One most important concept was taught to you yesterday, children. It was about random experiment. I told you whenever the result, or I should say that the outcomes are unpredictable, then such kind of experiments are known as random experiment. For example, whenever I am going to toss a coin, I do not know what would occur. It may be the possibility of getting the head is half, as well as the possibility of getting the tail is also half. Equal chances are there for getting head as well as tail. But we are not sure that we are going to get head only every time, or we will be getting tail every time. Okay. So such kind of experiments are known as random experiment, where the result is unpredictable. Got it? Next, I explained you about event. So an event for an experiment is the collection of some outcomes. Some outcomes means only we want the required results, so that ultimately we can reach on the appropriate solution. Okay, children? Whenever there is any experiment performed and we are just going to collect some outcomes after performing that experiment, then it will be known as event. Okay. For example, whenever you are going to throw a die, What will be the event to get even numbers? So you will say that the favorable outcomes will be 2, 4, 6. Why? Because these all three numbers are even. Got it? So this is a few outcomes which we have taken under the events. Got it? One more important concept I explained to you yesterday, that was complement of an event. Complement of an event is nothing but the negation of the event. For example, if in an event you are going to include only odd numbers whenever a die is thrown, so in complement we are supposed to take only and only even numbers. Means in complement we will be taking those outcomes which we are not going to consider in the actual event. Got it? Now I am going to begin today's lecture with the theoretical definition of probability. Children, I explained you that probability of an event is calculated how? When I am going to divide the number of favorable outcomes by the total number of outcomes. Now here the question arises, what do you mean by favorable outcomes? So let us recall the definition. The outcomes which ensure the occurrence of an event, they are called favorable outcomes. For example, whenever I am going to throw a die and it is said that we just want only prime numbers. So in prime numbers, which favorable outcomes you have to consider? You have to consider 2, 3, 5. So we have to count them because it is said in the formula that probability of an event to get prime numbers when a die is thrown once, so that will be equal to number of favorable outcomes. How many prime numbers will be there? They will be 3. And total number of outcomes, they are starting from 1 going up to 6, means they are 6 in number. So what will be the probability to get a prime number when a die is thrown once? It will be 3 by 6, that is half. Got it? So children, now I am going to proceed with some situational problems from exercise 15.1. Okay. So I am on question number 13. So children, question number 13 says, a die is thrown once, find the probability of getting a prime number. B part, a number lying between 2 and 6. And C part, an odd number. Okay. So children, now I am going to tell you the proper steps how you have to solve the questions based on probability. Fine. So you will write, when a die is thrown once, all the possible outcomes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Correct. So the total number of possible outcomes is equal to 6. Correct. Now what is asked in the question that we want the probability of getting a prime number. So you have to assume let E be the event of getting a prime number. Children, you know that prime numbers are the numbers which are greater than 1 and having exactly 2 factors. First factor will be 1 and another factor will be the number itself. So the prime numbers are 2, 3, 5. But how many are they in number? They are 3 in number. So basically they will be our favorable outcomes because it is demanded. Okay, prime numbers are demanded in the question. So number of favorable outcomes is equal to 3. Now probability of E is the event which is assumed by you, is equal to number of favorable outcomes upon total number of outcomes. That is 3 upon 6 is equal to half. Got it? Now children, I am explaining you its B part, in which it is asked that you will have to calculate the probability of getting a number lying between 2 and 6. So children, let us assume that even be the event of getting a number lying between 2 and 6. So you know the numbers which lies between 2 and 6. They are 3, 4 and 5. Correct? So the number of favorable outcomes, these are our favorable outcomes. Okay. So what is the number of these favorable outcomes? That is 3. So the probability of E1 is equal to 3 upon 6. This is total number of outcomes is equal to 1 by 2. Now children, in third part it is said that we have to calculate the probability of getting an odd number. So let E2 be the event of getting an odd number. Odd numbers are 1, 3, 5 because we are dealing with the die. Okay, in die the number comes up to 6. So what is these are favorable outcomes now. So what is the number of favorable outcome? That is again 3. So PE2 is equal to number of favorable outcomes upon total number of outcomes, that is equal to 1 by 2. So the probability of getting the odd number when a die is thrown is half. Okay children, before I switch to 14th question, there is some important information regarding the playing cards. Well shuffled pack of playing cards, they are 52 in numbers. So you please learn this chart so that you can solve as many questions as are demanded by the board or even in test papers also based on card system. Okay. You know that in a well shuffled pack or a deck of playing cards, there are total 52 cards in number. So they are divided in two parts, that is 26 of red color, 26 cards of black color. Okay. Now red color cards are further divided in 13 13. 13 are hearts, 13 are diamonds. Okay. And in black cards, 13 are spade cards and 13 are club cards. Got it? Okay. Now 13 cards will be there in each suit. They heart, diamond, spade and club, they all are known as suits. Okay. So now I have to divide further these 13 cards which are available with me. Okay. Number 1. First one will be known as S. 2 to 10 are number cards. Number 11 will show you Jack, number 12 for Queen and number 13 for King. Got it? So this Jack, Queen and King, they are basically known as face cards. See, in heart there is one Jack, one Queen, one King. Similarly in diamond, similarly in spade, similarly in club. So means 3 cards are there, face cards in each suit. So there are total 12 face cards in number. Okay, out of these 52 cards. Now children, if in these face cards, that is Jack, Queen and King, if I include As as well, so they will be known as cards of honor. And As also you know that there is number 1. Okay, with As in heart also, in diamond also, in spade also and as well as in club also. Got it? So they will be total 16 in number. So cards of honor are 16 but face cards are 12 in number. Got it? So let us start solving the question based on cards, playing cards, okay, on the basis of the given knowledge. Question number 14. One card is drawn from a well shuffled deck of 52 cards. Find the probability of getting A part, a king of red color, B part, a face card, C part, a red face card, D part, a jack of heart. Okay. And E part, the queen of diamond. So let us start doing it. Solution says total number of cards in one deck is equal to 52. So that will be total number of possible outcomes is equal to 52. Now children, let us start its solution. First part says let even be the event of getting a king of red color. You know that basically there are two suits of red color. One is heart, another is diamond. And in each suit there is one king. So how many favorable outcomes will be there? That is 2. So the probability of even is equal to number of favorable outcomes upon total number of outcomes, that is 2 upon 52 is equal to 1 upon 26. Got it? Now second part says let E2 be the event of getting a face card. Children, I have just told you that there are total 12 face cards. So the number of favorable outcome, that is basically the number of face cards only, is equal to 12. So the probability will be 12 upon 52 of the event E2. Let us cancel them by the table of 4. I have got 3 upon 13. Clear? Now children, in third part you have to write let E3 be the event of getting a red face card, red colored face card we have to talk about. You know that there are total 12 face cards, correct? So out of those 12 face cards, 6 cards are red in color and 6 are black in color. So I want red face cards, means the probability will be 6 upon 52, that is 3 upon 13. Clear? Let us reach on fourth part. Let E4 be the event of getting the probability of the jack of a heart. In heart, you know there is only one jack. Just have a look on the given information. This is jack, number 11. Number 11 is present in every suit. But we are talking about jack of heart. So there is one only, one jack. So what will be the probability? That is 1 upon 52. Got it? Now we are on fifth part. We have to calculate the probability of getting a spade card. You know children that spade cards are 13 in number. So 13 upon 52 will be the probability. This is number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of outcomes. Children, I have written the formula once, but you have to memorize it, so you are supposed to write down it in every part. Got it? Along with the event, what is the demand of the event? So that is equal to 1 by 4. Now I am on last part. We have to calculate the probability of getting the queen of diamond. Children, you know that there is one queen in each and every suit. As we are going to talk about the queen of diamond, so it will be 1 only. So the favorable outcome is 1 and the probability will be 1 upon 52. I hope you may have understood this question after gaining the knowledge related to the cards. Children, the easiest questions in which the direct application is there, those questions I am leaving so that you can do those questions at your home in your homework notebook. Clear? So this after question number 14, I am going to take question number 18. So let us start it. A box contains 90 discs which are numbered from 1 to 90. If one disc is drawn at random from the box, find the probability that it bears, first part, a 2-digit number. Means from 1 to 90 we will have to pick those favorable outcomes which will be showing 2-digit numbers. Correct? In second part, we have to calculate the probability of a perfect square number, again from this 1 to 90. And in third part, we will have to calculate the probability of a number which is divisible by 5. Means which comes in the table of 5 up to the number 90. So children, let us start solution number 18. What is the total number of discs in a box? That is 90. Starting from number 1 goes up to the number 90. Okay, there are 90 in number. So definitely our total number of outcomes will be 90, which is demanded in the formula to calculate the probability. So in first part, what is asked? That we will have to calculate the probability of a 2-digit number. So let E1 be the event of getting a 2-digit number. So children, from 1 to 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. From 1 to 9, they all contain only 1 digit. So they will not be considered in the favorable outcome. Okay. So I have to start from 10 and going up to 90. So how many numbers I have excluded? Because we are dealing with the number. Number of favorable outcomes I want. I don't want favorable outcomes. I want their number. Okay. So out of 90, if 9 have gone, so what will be the number left? Of course, 81. So the number of favorable outcomes will be equal to 81. Children, if you want to show here favorable outcomes, you can show like this. Favorable outcomes is equal to 10. As I have shown, look. 10, 11, 12 going up to 89, 90. Correct? So they all are 81 in number. So the probability of So children, the probability of even must be equal to 81 upon 90. That is number of favorable outcomes upon total number of outcomes. Cancel them by the table of 9. This is 9 9s are 81, 9 10s are 90. So the answer is 9 upon 10. Correct? Let us switch to second part. Let E2 be the event of getting a perfect square number. Children, you know that 1 is also a perfect square because 1 square is 1. Correct? 2 square is 4. 3 square 9. 4 square 16. 5 square 25. 6 square 36. 7 square 49. 8 square 64. And 9 square is 81. If I take 10 square, it would become 100. But I have the discs up to the number 90. Got it? So I will have to include these all favorable outcomes. So they all are favorable outcomes. How many are they in number? Let us count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They are total 9 in number. So children, number of favorable outcomes is equal to 9. And total number of outcomes, you know that they are 90 in number. So the probability of event 2, that is E2, is equal to 9 upon 90. Cancel them by the table of 9. You will be getting 1 upon 10. Clear? Okay. Now I am going to switch to part number 3. What is the demand? What is the event given in part number 3? That we will have to calculate the probability of a number which is divisible by 5. So let E3 be the event of getting a number divisible by 5. Children, make sure that we have to go for the number which are divisible by 5 from 1 to 90 numbers only. Okay. So we will have to just simply write the table of 5. It will be 5, 10, 15, then 20, then 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. But we have to further keep on proceeding up to the number 90. So that will be 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85 and of course 90. Here you can see that they all are divisible by 5 as well as maintaining the difference of 5 also. Correct? So let us count them. How many are they in number? Up to here they were 10 in number. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So the number of favorable outcomes is equal to 18. Now the formula of probability of E3 is equal to number of favorable outcomes upon total number of outcomes. That is 18 upon 90. So let us cancel them. They will be cancelled. 18 ones are 18, 18 fives are 90. So the probability will be 1 upon 5. Got it? I hope children you may all have understood whatever is taught today in today's lecture. Now this is the time to get mathematics homework. Now children, this is your mathematics homework. You have to do question 6 to 9 and question number 11 of exercise 15.1 in your mathematics homework notebook. Children, they all are very simple as well as direct questions. But please make sure that you have to write down the formula of probability as well as the event in each and every question. Okay. Along with it, children, whatever I have explained you in today's lecture, that is lecture number 2 of probability, those very questions also you have to do. That is question number 13, question number 14 and of course question number 18 of exercise 15.1. Fine children. So these very questions you have to do in your mathematics homework notebook. So that's it for the day. I hope you all may have understood whatever is taught today. And children, one more thing, it is very much important for you that you will have to make that complete information whatever I gave you related to a well shuffled pack of 52 cards. Those things also you are supposed to write down in your mathematics homework notebook. Fine. So that's it for the day. Please like the video and do not forget to subscribe our channel. Thank you and have a nice day.